this weekend I've been a little bit daisy, right? I don't even know what the word would be, but I just haven't been as productive as I would like to be, and I've seen that this keeps happening weekend to weekend, and it's just all going back. Like I know that I've like a couple weeks ago I had such a really good weekend. It was a really good routine. I was super productive, and then ever since then it's just been off it. Like I have not been able to be as productive, and I feel like it's all my little habits or like little things I've been doing that haven't been adding up, and it all comes back to controlling your stimulation, right? So I have a theory, right? Like I see some people talking about how important it is for like the millionaires to have a morning routine, and the other people talk about it's so stupid to have a morning routine. You're telling me if you don't sleep for an extra 7 minutes, or if you don't take that cold shower, you're not gonna be able to operate your business. It's like that makes no sense. And I kind of agree with both sides, but I think there's a middle that you have to come into, and that's where like the people get success, but they don't understand it, right? So I believe that you need to have a morning routine in order to build structure in your day, right? And once you build that structure, it becomes a habit, and that habit is what gets you the success. So let's just say your morning routine is like you wake up and you have to stretch, you have to drink water, and you take a cold shower, right? You do that continuously, right? And like something else would be like you avoid your phone in the morning, right? You do that for a long enough period of time. Let's say you do it for 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 months, whatever, until it becomes a habit. I mean, it becomes like structured in your day. Like you don't need to think twice about it. It's just I can't go on my phone right now. I can't go on my phone. I need to drink my water. I need to take this cold shower, whatever, right? Once you have that structure, right, you can say because you do that, you're allowed to be alert in the morning. You're allowed to be because the cold shower, you're not distracted by your phone, whatever. You're alert. You're allowed to be alert. You are more aware of your surroundings, and you're able to do harder work, right? And so they also talk about doing the hardest task in the morning, right? If you do your hardest task in the morning, the rest of the day becomes easy, which also makes sense because, say, like I just said, if you're alert and you're awake and you're aware, say you go on to do your hard task, and so two things about this. This hard task allows you to make the rest of your day easy, giving you the structure that you need. And on top of that, in terms of stimulation, a hard task is typically something you've been avoid doing. Maybe it's homework, maybe it's a business task, maybe it's a meeting, whatever the case may be. It's not going to be that stimulating, and that's why you haven't done it yet. If it was stimulating enough, you would have already done it. So you do that, right? Say you only get a little bit of stimulation from it. Whatever you do after that will seem more likely exciting, right? So and it's easier to go upwards in terms of stimulation throughout the day rather than downwards. So if you started your day with going on your phone, like you're going through Twitter, you're going through Instagram, TikTok, that's a very highly stimulating activity. For you to go from that into homework or some hard task is gonna be very hard because you're gonna be like, oh my God, I don't feel like doing this, I'm too tired, my brain is not focused, I'd rather just go on my phone. And then you end up going on your phone, you end up watching Netflix, whatever the case may be. Those are highly stimulating activities. So going from a high stimulating activity to a low stimulating activity is very hard. But if you do it in the opposite, which is why you do that morning structure, you avoid your phone so you're not stimulated. You do the hard task, which is a low stimulation, and then it allows you to move into the highly stimulating activities throughout the day. And so you do this for a long enough period of time, right? So you wake up, you drink your water, you stretch, you take your cold shower, you avoid your phone, you do your hard task, and then maybe you like this could depend on whatever the person, but like there's lots of you need to figure out what stimulating activities give you high stim and low stim, and then you need to figure out in what order you want to do them. Maybe you want to avoid the high stims completely because you want to only get work done. But if you only care for like one big task a day, then maybe you reward yourself with a high stimulating activity like going on your phone. Nonetheless, right, I also believe eating is a high stimulating activity. So, and not just eating anything, like eating food that you enjoy, like it gives you lots of dopamine and serotonin and all of that. So again, it's stimulating. So I find it that when in the mornings I try to avoid eating till like 1 p.m. and I'll try to avoid eating for as long as I can, as long as I'm not like in dire hunger, because it allows my brain to have more clarity. I can think more. I don't feel lethargic. I feel like as you get older, you'll realize the things that like how food like makes your body react. Like when you're younger and you can eat candy, you can eat all types of shit, and your body doesn't really feel anything like different. But when you get older, like every time I eat pizza now, I become sleepy and lethargic. If I eat candy too much, you might get a, you know, what is the thing called? Like a candy high, and then you start like you get drained of energy, whatever the case may be. Anytime I eat dairy, my stomach starts churning, right? But you start realizing how your body reacts to food. And not only that, it's like if you think back to the old days, or how cavemen and hunters were, when they were hungry, they had to go hunt and then they had to cook and this took hours upon hours, right, whatever to do, and then they eat. But nowadays we have food so easily accessible to us. Anything that easy can be good for you, right? It's too stimulating, it's too easy, it's not worthwhile in the long run, it's too easy of gratification. So I try to push my hunger to its limits so then I can get as much work done, and then I reward myself with food. And that's like, it sounds a little bit crazy, but it's a way healthier way to get work done and to not overeat and become like lethargic and lazy and sleep all day and just, because every time I eat I just want to take a nap or something, as most humans do, whatever, right? You do your morning routine to get your day structured, right? So you know that you're gonna do the morning routine, you're gonna get your work done, you're gonna eat, you're gonna do the other little, maybe you learn in the middle of the day, then you take action in the second half of the day, and then you cool down and you meditate, you stretch, you read your book, and then you go to sleep. And that's how your day is structured. Point is that structure gives you a habit. Now you do that, the routine, for long enough, it gets you the structure, and the structure gets you into a habit, and that's what you need. You need good habits. Eventually you won't doing the whole like day-to-day thing where it's like you're doing the morning routine, your midday routine, your night routine. It'll become all habits, and once it's a habit, you're good. Now you're gonna continuously get all your work done, you're gonna continuously get your food in, you're gonna continuously get your workout in, whatever the case, however you structure your day. And once it's a habit, it becomes easy, becomes effortless. And at that point, even if you miss one thing in your morning, maybe you don't take that cold shower that day, maybe you don't get your workout in that day, you won't like start freaking out, because you'll get back to it the next day, as long as you get back to it the next day. But at first, you really need to get every little thing done. It sounds dumb, but you really need to get every little minor event, the cold shower, the water in the morning, stretch, because you need that structure and routine built into you as a habit. And once it's a habit, it becomes effortless, like I said. Eventually, when it's like a long form habit, like everything is natural, you don't need to have everything so optimal. It could just be like, okay, I missed it this day, I'm gonna get back to it tomorrow, but you're still gonna be able to get your work done. You're still gonna be able to do whatever it needs to be done, because it's all natural now. And I think that's where it, like, some people will be like, the morning routine's everything. Other people are like, no, you don't need to have the most optimal routine in the morning, just get your fucking work done. It's like, there's a middle that comes to it. And I feel like some people are just born to just work, in terms of like doing whatever hard work, maybe like their parents raised them a certain way, and the other people were raised a different way. I feel like sometimes you have to unlearn some tactics and learn some new ones. And given so, now you're unlearning the bad habits you had in the morning, and you're learning the habits of people that get a lot of work done. So, and now you're taking it into the middle, and you're doing both. And I think it's important, if you want to get work done, if you want to become successful, if you want to have good structure, good days where you're always fulfilled, you're happy with how your day is going, you're moving forward, you're not just going through the motions of life. I think it's very important you do these little things to eventually get to where you want to be.